fuck, son? Vote a crowd.
With plaque psoriasis, even the thought of an itchy situation can throw you off your game. Otezla is the #1 prescribed pill to treat plaque psoriasis.
Car, drum.
Yes.
Otezla can help you get clearer skin and reduce itching and flaking.
It's a bird.
It's a plane.
Doctors have been prescribing Otezla for over a decade. Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts.
Baby.
What? Go.
Football.
Yes. Yeah.
With less itchy redness, game night is a great night. Live in the moment. Ask your doctor about Otezla. Scan to learn more.
It's SEC Volleyball from Northwest Arkansas. It's a busy night on the Hill. We're at Barnhill Arena. The Arkansas Razorbacks off a Texas two-step return home to host the Mizzou Tigers. Take a look at our conference standings. Texas sits at the top, 7-1. Both Arkansas and Mizzou, though, 4-2, hoping to pad that RPI and that resume with a win this evening. Let's bring you inside. Brett Dolan, Lauren Evans, thanks for joining us. Glad to have Lauren along, pinch hitting as well. I know Mizzou is happy to have Jordan Iliff on their team. We're going to see her tonight. She might be one of the more dynamic players in this conference.
Her athleticism really shows on that right side, having high swings. Excited to see her tonight.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from Iliff. There's so much to break down. We'll get into her serves, 50 aces on the year. Really exciting, but she also hits at an extremely high percentage.
Excited to see her hit clean, high off hands, ready for tonight.
It's a team that also hits at a high percentage. Iliff obviously is part of that. We'll see a lot of those swings. And Lauren, what she has done is maybe saved the best for last over these last 3 matches.
She really is, as we say, peaking at the right time going into the second half of SEC play.
Well, speaking of the Razorbacks, they took care of business. They won their first 4 SEC matches. But, Lauren, they got a little bit of a dose of reality in that last road trip.
Yeah, going into a new day on to Texas, but excited for tonight for them.
Had to play the defending national champions, the Texas Longhorns and A&M, so the numbers don't look quite as good, but hoping for a bounce back this evening against Mizzou. And again with a basketball game against Kansas taking place in about an hour. There's a lot of Razorback fans. They're within a couple of miles of each other, so glad you got a parking spot. We're off and rolling. And that's easily put down. Almost a dunk from Matkin.
Nice high-level play at the net.
We're going to discuss Matkin a lot this evening, but her progression has been really fun to watch for the Razorbacks.
It seems there's a net call on the play.
We didn't even get 1 point in, and already maybe a reversal. Indeed, that's the case. So instead of a dunk and a kill and a point for Matkin, Mizzou will take it. Strong swing, and that time a kill from Sanaya Pettis.
Good slide on that play.
This was the net violation. Did she get it? Did she touch it?
Do see it just a little bit at the end, at the bottom of the net.
This is Kylie Weeks serving, the sophomore out of Nebraska. And the first of many swings from Jordan Iliff, but out and a point to the Razorbacks. Arkansas faced this Mizzou team here a year ago, so back-to-back visits for the Tigers and back-to-back seasons. Razorbacks took that one 3-1. Dimmeray was stuffed.
What a block by Evans. And Arkansas really targeting Isla already at the beginning.
Of course, Zoe Evans has to do a lot of the work there with Hannah Hogue, her teammate. Handled by Sands, and then Mizzou goes fast to get a much-needed point.
Mizzou looking to establish their middles early on.
It's Colleen Finney. Well, she hits .446. I know those middles have high hitting percentages, but what an amazing number for her. Atkin doesn't get the kill. It was just too long. Arkansas will gladly take the point. What are some of the aspects you look for early in a match to kind of get a feel for which team might be ready to play?
You know, really just seeing how settled they're getting in, playing clean, high-level volleyball.
Played up by Evans. Sent over by Mackin. Well, that's a strong back row swing from Vernon. It's going to go out for the Mizzou point.
Good touch on the block, just not able to run that down.
Both of these teams have been really good in their home buildings. Mizzou has taken advantage of the Hearn Center and their home court advantage. Arkansas has done the same. 7 wins, 7-0 here at Barnhill. And I would imagine after you play at Texas and at Texas A&M, you're excited to be back in Barnhill. Thurman sends it over. Powerful swing from Iliff. Dug by Sands. Arkansas thought they had the block, but it carried out, and Mizzou gets the point.
What a good defensive rally by both sides of the net.
I have a feeling we're going to be talking about defense and digs a lot with these two teams.
Especially having 2 liberos at the top of the SEC in digs per set.
This is Dimare serving. Service error puts Arkansas back in front. Arkansas, of course, coached by Jason Watson, his 9th season. It's amazing how quickly 9 years go by with Jason.
I cannot believe going into one of our first recruiting classes when I was playing for Jason. It's very exciting.
He will joke it's the longest he has been at any one stop at building this program. And in fact, both of these teams were NCAA tournament teams a year ago, including Coach Sullivan in her very first year. What an amazing job she has done. There is a connection, of course, between these two. We'll get into that later on. But when you take a team to the NCAA tournament in year 1, you know you're off to a good start.
That really just builds to character of Coach Sullivan and what she's trying to do here at Mizzou.
Now, I will say they have something in common. Nebraska ended both of their seasons. Nebraska took out Mizzou in round 2. Arkansas played them in the Elite 8. And all of a sudden, the Tigers jumped out to a 2-point lead.
Tigers really going high off of hands on that outside swing. I could see that being a game plan going into tonight.
I think we even saw that early with Iliff. She had one that was way out, but she might have been looking for the hands as well. Maya Sands, one of those liberos, puts up big numbers. That's Huey. Arkansas had a 4-2 lead, but now it's Mizzou with the 2-point advantage. Evans got her hands on it. Played up, but it will not stay in. Off the hands of Kylie Weeks.
Another high swing by Vernon.
You think about Vernon at 5'11", put up great numbers, 4 years at Oregon State. Mentioned Iliff in the open for the senior. I mean, they do have some really good hitters Arkansas will have to contend with this evening. And again, there's Vernon. Arkansas could use a point, and they'll get one here.
A nice little cut shot by Huey.
Shades of Maggie Cartwright from the last couple of years. She was awfully good with that type of shot.
I see some similarities to them with their high contact point when they swing.
It's Avery Callum. But the solo block, but it doesn't fall, but Arkansas still gets the point. Nice job by Sanaya Pettis.
Great effort by Sands there, getting under the ball for that pancake.
And she got her fingers, her wrist, everything underneath that. Arkansas wins the point. I thought maybe when I heard the whistle, Sanaya had touched the tape, but she directed that attempt.
Looks like that went against Mizzou over there, trying to get up for that joust ball.
Crisp beginning to this one between Mizzou and Arkansas. It's a dynamic vertical from Michael Vernon. Again, more than 1,000 career kills. 5th year of playing almost every match.
Another great high line swing.
Looks long out of her hands and is. From Crownover. We haven't talked a lot about Crownover, but she has really directed this offense this season.
Taking over in a setting position for her, coming in as a transfer.
Texas transfer. It's hard to get on the court there, isn't it? Playing for a team contending for or winning national championships.
With a stacked team like that, I'm sure.
Hey, the slide works perfectly for the Razorbacks as they take a 10-9 lead.
Great swing by Pettis, going off one foot, finding that seam within the block.
You could see Vernon kind of moving with her, trying to get to the block, but unable to defeat it. Thurman serving. Dug by the Razorbacks and Weeks. Played up by Sands. And put down by Vernon again.
Looking for Arkansas to capitalize, win. She is in the back row.
That's 6 kills already for Vernon. Arkansas out of system, and Mizzou will take another point. You're talking about a Mizzou team #1 in the conference in hitting percentage, one of the best in the country. Arkansas is the 11th. Where it flips a bit is the opposing hitting percentages. Arkansas a little better defensively than maybe Mizzou is, and it kind of sets up almost a basketball contrast between a high-scoring team that plays high-scoring games or a lower-scoring offense trying to, I don't know, maybe control the tempo just a bit.
A great matchup between a high-level hitting team and a defensive-minded team as Arkansas.
She go outside the antenna? I think she did.
Hitting the antenna and going out of play.
The hands of Demaray. This is Olivia Huey, the redshirt freshman of Salt Lake City, Utah. Arkansas comes in at 14-4. They're playing a lot of players who last year had redshirt years. What do you think players like Huey and others gain from maybe just watching Cartwright and Gillen and Head?
After that Elite 8 run, it's always imperative for those to see what you have before you, the players that have come before you, and really learn from what they've done.
The serve clipped the tape. No ace recorded, though. Strong swing and a kill from Madkin.
What a high-level cross shot from Madkin.
How would you describe her season for Madkin? We didn't know a lot about her maybe in the first month. Romani Thurman got a lot of attention, and for good reason, but Madkin just keeps getting better.
I've loved getting to watch her and watch her grow throughout this season and really find her groove going into the SEC play.
Is that a long swing? No, got the back corner. What an effort from Jordan Eiliff.
What a nice high cross shot to the corner. It's a hard ball to defend from Arkansas.
Seemed like that's a hard ball to keep in play or hit that back corner.
Absolutely.
First kill for Eiliff to go along with the 6th from Vernon. Guess who? Anaya Madkin.
What another great swing from Madkin, that same area.
Arkansas off to a good start. Set 1 will step aside. Razorbacks up by 3.
Jordan outside of soccer is a little bit different than Jordan in soccer. You definitely get a sneak peek into who I am with what I wear. Whatever you feel confident in, go rock it. TJ Maxx. Maxx what makes you, you.
Some Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
Alrighty. Who's ready for my famous charred duck?
Like, you know, to check the mascot first before bringing food to a tailgate.
Touch this baby.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
When greatness calls, you answer. Don't give up. Level up. Design your dreams. Polo 67, the iconic fragrances. Ralph Lauren.
At Macy's, the fragrance destination.
Arkansas has done an amazing job at home this year, Lauren. 7-0, 6 sweeps. I know part of kind of holding serve in the SEC is being able to win as many as you can at home and try and steal a few games on the road. And Arkansas, to that first point, has done a really nice job.
Absolutely. Being home in Barnhill, I know from personal experience, such a great atmosphere to play in, even with a night like tonight.
Now, tonight's a little bit of a challenge for Jason Watson and his crew. There's a really nice turnout, but you're talking about 20,000 fans next door at Bud Walton Arena for a Kansas-Arkansas basketball scrimmage. Normally the Razorbacks will get a lot of students here. It feels like the students that have showed up tonight are the true volleyball diehards or those that didn't want to camp out to get into Bud Walton Arena for the basketball game.
I'd love a student that's a diehard volleyball fan.
When I saw the students lining up outside of Bud yesterday, I knew that it was a little bit different than most basketball exhibition games. But the fans have still turned out today. Mizzou got a big block. Crawl back into this set one. And this is Jordan Iliff back to serve, and always worth paying attention. 50 aces on the season, just about got another. Arkansas would love to get a point, get her off the service line, but they will not do so. What is it about this serve of Iliff that is so challenging?
You know, it's really a mix between a hybrid and a topspin serve, something that's very hard for serve-received passers to identify.
Seems like it's got great movement. You see the sink and the drop. Arkansas will go fast, and maybe you get a sigh of relief when you get her off after one or two swings.
You do. That's something that's probably pretty imperative, is limiting Iliff to one or two serves in a service run, not letting her go on.
That was part of your role, right, as a libero defensive specialist at times?
Absolutely. It was fun having serve receive, and it's times it's not as fun.
I bet it would be. At times, maybe not quite as enjoyable when you get someone like Iliff. Nice up by Sands. Played by Iliff and over. Mizzou able to dodge a bullet. Free ball sent over. Arkansas not in position to finish. Will the third time be a charm? It will.
We're seeing such good defense tonight on both sides, and Thurman finishing that off with a high tool off the block.
Timeout, Mizzou. And you're just going back to your background as a defensive specialist, a server extraordinaire. Do you get extra excited when you see a Courtney Jackson, a Maya Sands, a Hannah Hogue with what both of these teams bring?
I'm definitely biased and looking towards those liberos during this broadcast. It's exciting to see them getting a little bit more recognition, those that sometimes don't, but also I love getting to see those hitters and swinging for the hills.
I want to ask you more about liberos, but let's talk more about you. Lauren Evans, the former Razorback volleyball player. Hey, we're going in the Wayback Machine.
We are.
2018 through 2021. Now, in high school, you were a hitter, correct?
I was a hitter, came into Arkansas as an outside, and then transitioned in my freshman and sophomore year, going to that defensive libero and DS side of things.
What was that transition like?
You know, it was pretty hard. As an outside, you are a passer, but having that sole focus, it is nice to get to really hone in on one thing, and I've enjoyed my time at Arkansas doing so.
How do you describe maybe the evolution of this program from when you came in to where they were able to reach last year with the Elite Eight?
I'm such a proud alumni getting to watch this team and what they've done last year and what Jason has done with this program. It's very exciting, and I'm excited to see them keep going and progressing in the way that we all know that they can.
I got a feeling a lot of your fellow alums, some of your teammates felt exactly the same watching the growth last season.
we had a great turnout at NCAA when we hosted, having a bunch of alumni come out and just really supporting them. And this is exactly how we knew this program could achieve.
Talking about 15 wins in conference play last year, just 3 losses, and 2 of those were to Kentucky, the team Arkansas beat to reach the Elite Eight. That one got some hands, another Arkansas point. But then this season, Lauren, became, I don't want to say a rebuild, but Jason had to kind of start that climb again. And as he pointed out early in the year, at least he has the blueprint. He's gone through this once, now going through it again. Should be easy, and Arkansas gets the kill from Madkin. Was she positioning herself around that antenna?
Man, that is what a dig from Hogue, and really a great place for Madkin to see that area and move herself to hit around that antenna.
See, I was watching the unique kill. You were watching the dig from Hogue, but Arkansas certainly had a couple of highlights on that play. Mizzou gets an answer from Demaray. Hey, you go back with her as well.
I do. We went to rival high schools. She was a freshman when I was a senior, and I've really enjoyed watching her get into play in the SEC. I'm glad she came to this great conference, and excited to see her throughout this night.
A couple of Colleyville natives. She went to Grapevine High School. You were Heritage.
Colleyville Heritage.
Pretty good dig as well from Sands. Hannah Hogue went sprawling. Mizzou goes fast, and from the middle, Finney terminates.
Mizzou running their middles. I think that helps establish with their setter in the front row, giving that outside a little bit more availability.
Coach Sullivan says Colleen Finney leads her team in grit, and she was excited to get that point, keep Arkansas from getting to 20, but they will on the service there from Perez Catala. Courtney Jackson back to serve. Sent back off the hands of Hui, but Arkansas continues to get the point.
Nice.
Add to this lead.
High swing.
What have you seen out of Olivia, the freshman out of Utah? She's another player that's taken advantage of her opportunity to play this season.
Absolutely. 2 freshmen, redshirt freshmen outsides. I've been excited to see her play clean, and when she doesn't get that right window of opportunity, being able to recycle the play.
And then Jordan Iliff gets the kill. "13 aces for Maya Sands this season. Played up nicely by Mizzou. Thurman gets the kill.
I've really enjoyed seeing Thurman going off hands, really challenging that block.
Well, you can see the elevation right here. Taking on 2 defenders. Haith and Vernon getting the point. Put down, and Mizzou gets the much needed point to keep Arkansas from maybe getting some late separation here in set 1.
Vernon really sealing that block well on Thurman. Nice press over the block.
Demaray serving. Arkansas played it over from behind the antenna. That doesn't work. That doesn't count. Crownover serving. Came into tonight with 16 aces. And we mentioned not only an Austin native, but a former Longhorn who transferred. And well, that felt like a big swing for Mizzou. So big that Jason Watson will spend a timeout.
Another great serve from Crownover. really hitting that nice flat float serve and dropping right on that end line.
That one ends out. Arkansas has a 23-19 lead and trending towards a win here in set one. So Jason Watson will spend a timeout. We'll talk a lot about Crownover, I would imagine, before this night is over, but she came in off that transfer, took over this offense, and has done a really nice job. Anytime a team is in the top 4 or 5 in the country in hitting percentage, you know there's a lot involved. Coach talked to us about digs and starting their offense, and then you've got an outstanding setter and good hitters. There's so much that goes into a team that is hitting 300 plus.
Just like Coach Sullivan talked about, you know, having Crownover really able to take over and set where she is wanting to, getting that ball nice and high and letting her go to work.
Arkansas had a 22-17 lead just a moment ago. 3 straight points by the Tigers. The Razorbacks spent a timeout. Are you a believer that a timeout breaks a little momentum at the service line?
I really do, especially when you are that player going back to that service line.
So what is it? It's just the breaking of your rhythm?
Your rhythm and your anticipation for the point. Really making sure you're honing in and getting that in.
See how Crownover handles it. Just about got an ace. Arkansas out of system. Dug by Sands. Played up by Jackson. Another good job by Mizzou to keep that point alive. These teams have been in scramble mode. Thurman, can she get the kill? Bit of a free ball put down. How big do your eyes get when that ball's coming right at you over the net?
You know, those net balls are sometimes some of the hardest. Making sure that you're reading the ball, how far it's going over the net, making sure you're not touching the net.
I feel like from time to time I'm not talking enough about the digs or the defense. That's where you come in.
It definitely is. That is a key to any game here.
And Arkansas finds some open real estate to move to set point. And Mizzou's going to call a timeout. Well, the timeout worked. With some high hands.
Just that right hand pressing over just in right time, taking out that cross shot.
She get a block and a kill on that?
You know, I think the statistics are going to count that as a block, but I think we would love it as both.
24-20 Arkansas here in set one. Both of these teams, again, 4-2 in league play, so there's a lot of volleyball left. I think both coaches reminded us of that this week. Soccer's kind of winding down the regular season. Volleyball still has more to go, but I don't think it's ever too early to think about key wins, RPI wins, holding serve at home, getting a road win, whatever the case may be.
That's always a thought in the back of minds, you know. Going in, the SEC has become one of the premier conferences in volleyball, and you always want to snag as many as you can.
Well, Arkansas clearly up in that hitting percentage standpoint, but that's a big number, isn't it, for the digs, 22 apiece?
Absolutely. That's what the name of this game is going to be, is defensive-minded. It's a fun time getting to see two teams have long rallies and digging opponents.
I think one number not up there is 4 errors from Mizzou, none for Arkansas. And,
really is playing clean volleyball.
Coach Sullivan talked to us about that, how Arkansas impresses her by the ability to play clean, gives them a chance to maintain some momentum. The Razorbacks able to save. They are not. It'll remain at set point.
I love how Vernon really just hangs in the air and waits until that ball is right in her window of hitting.
Well, she's got some up. She's got some vertical.
Just even harder on the blocks.
It's not fun, no. I trust you. I believe you on that. Can Arkansas end it right here? They will.
Hui with a nice swing going off the top of the hands.
Well, the Razorbacks claim set one. 25-21 will step aside and come back for set two.
Being a football player with plaque psoriasis is challenging. The football locker room is always a place where people are going to see your skin and you can't hide it forever. I'm Dallas Goddard, professional tight end, and this is my story. I felt embarrassed by my plaques, and I was covering up on and off the field. For years, I've treated my plaque psoriasis with topicals, but the hardest part for me was applying them every day, applying them to spots that are hard to reach, and it's something that you just have to be so consistent with to see visible changes. So recently, I talked to a new doctor about a medication, Otezla. It's a pill form and works from the inside out. Looking back at it, I probably could have told my doctor my struggles earlier.
Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts.
Talking to my doctor about a pill was a total game changer.
Take a look at some news and notes around college volleyball. The Jackrabbits staying undefeated against their rival, the Coyotes of South Dakota. Good volleyball at all levels around the country right now, but a little bit closer to home. Texas A&M, how about this? They handed Texas the first loss in SEC play. That looked like quite a celebration in the locker room. A trophy involved, and then, of course, the Pitt Panthers continue to dominate with their sweep over Stanford, and that is a conference matchup. That's hard to believe, ACC. Of course, the committee had a top 16 reveal, and Lord, I think the thing that jumps out at me as an SEC participant is there's just one conference team in that top 16.
Which definitely is different compared to previous years going through with Texas coming in, elevating SEC play, but coming in at the right time.
Well, that's the crazy part. No Texas, there isn't a single SEC team in that top 16, and you start to think about regional hosts. Last year, Arkansas hosted Kentucky, I think Florida. There were a number of SEC teams that got to host, which is such a key to getting to that Sweet 16.
Absolutely. Having key matchups and elevating the SEC with getting the most amount of teams in furthest in the NCAA.
Were you surprised at all that A&M took down Texas?
I watched that game, and it was incredible going back to back. But Katie Ledecky going for her room.
Yeah, she's a lot of fun to watch. You know, I asked Jason Watson what he thought after playing both teams, and I knew the minute I asked the question, I don't care, because he's got his own team to coach, you know. But from an SEC standpoint, the league could use a few more big key wins and, you know, more teams kind of battling for positioning. Next year we'll be talking about the conference tournament and what that will feel like as far as potential seeding in the NCAAs. But this year, last year without.
I'm very excited for the SEC tournament. I think the volleyball players in the SEC have been wanting that for a while.
I think they're going to enjoy it. Just the spectacle and the big stage. All 16 teams will be in it as we start set two. What do you think Mizzou's takeaway was from set one?
You know, I think they had great defensive plays. Maybe just honing in a little bit on the block. There were a lot of block touches, a lot of swings into seams. Just potentially looking at that block.
Obviously, Arkansas did a good job defensively, a 174 hitting percentage for Mizzou, keeping them well below their average, and that's part of playing on the road in the SEC is who he serves. And a quick kill from Vernon. We were talking about her vertical earlier, and you know, as Coach Sullivan, he used the phrase springy when talking about Vernon. I like that, springy, bounce.
Definitely has some bounce, getting able to go at a high level.
Got some hands, but played up. And the Tigers with back-to-back points.
I'm always going to go back to my defensive mind. What a great dig. One hand in a great position for Sutter to do some work.
Seeing a lot of that. There's the numbers for Michael Vernon. Kills per set. She had 6 quick kills for the Tigers back in set one. Looked like Arkansas had the block, but it was defeated on the swing from Reagan Haith.
Just snuck that ball right through the block of Arkansas.
Haith, a 6'2" junior out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Coach says she's such a learner, really wants to be good, the Illinois State transfer. Pretty good dump try from Hogue, but Arkansas doesn't get the point.
And seeing that double implemented, you don't see that all too often with the new rules of the NCAA, but that ball going over the net is when a double can be implemented.
So you can have the double, you just can't have the double that goes over.
Goes over on that last ball.
Do you like the new rule?
I love it. I think it allows them to be a little bit more aggressive, get some setters being able to reverse the flow of games. And
funny is, I haven't heard many that would disagree with you. I think a lot of people
not.
like that rule.
What a good serve by Weeks.
Arkansas had a game a couple of weeks ago when Weeks came in against Alabama. Arkansas was down 21-14 late in the second set. They went on an 11-1 run, and Weeks had an 8-point run of her own that turned what looked like a certain set loss into a win against Alabama. She won't get a chance for an extended run here as Mizzou gets the kill.
Serving really has become such an imperative part of Arkansas's scheme, being able to serve hard and get players out of system.
Something that Coach Sullivan talked to us about too.
Absolutely. A key factor for Arkansas's game.
Crownover serving. Played over. Well, that looked like a free ball for Haith, but she didn't terminate. Mizzou still gets the point though from Vernon.
Again, a great swing by Vernon, being able to terminate that play.
Looked like Arkansas caught a break in one portion of that rally, and then an ace from Crownover.
What a serve by Crownover. That nice flat float and really dying right at the right peak in the court.
She's heading towards 20 aces. That would be a big number on some teams, not when you have Iliff, who has 50 already. Handle by Weeks. Chance for Mizzou to extend their lead, and they will do so.
Great cut body shot by Vernon going down that line. You see the matchup with Hogue as a setter, and sometimes setters can understand you have a not as imperative block going up.
Boy, everything going for Mizzou right now after the ace. Another one in the sequence from Crownover. I thought Jason might call a timeout. He does. He'll spend one here. Good beginning for the Tigers in set. Lauren, it does feel like aces have been a big theme here in set two.
Crownover's really done a great job, and so has Sands with nice flat serves and dying at the right time. It's hard to look at as a serve-receive player.
Is it just that drop where you're expecting another 2 feet of carry, but you just can't quite extend and get there?
A lot of times you're looking at balls coming at your chest a little bit higher. Once those balls in front of you are some of the hardest to get in serve-receive.
Can you replicate that at practice at all? I got to believe it's really tough.
Very tough, very tough. It's good to have a hard serving team because your passers are going up against it every day.
It's taken some of the steam out of the Razorbacks here in set two, and so is Vernon. Another kill. She's in double figures already. That is 13 kills and a hitting percentage of .520. And obviously Mizzou, their numbers as far as kills per set, not only at the top of the league, but near the top of the country.
Really being smart with that play, knowing that she's off the net, tipping it over the block and into an open space.
Boy, this has been domination though here in set two after Arkansas won set one. Arkansas really wants to get Crownover off the service line. That almost turned into a kill by Crownover. Played up by Sands. And the ball will carry out of the reach of Thurman. An 8-point Tiger lead.
Give him some love to Crown over, setting that ball from her knees.
How about that?
What a play.
Coach said she's feisty. She looked calm. She looked in command. Arkansas has to end this at some point. They finally do.
Good way to end that run from Madkin.
You know, Jason Watson was in a tough spot. He used his timeout early, and then things continued to drift. And you have to determine whether or not you want to stop it again or just wait for that side out. 2 in a row, though, for the Hogs. Zoe Evans had that one tracked right to it.
Evans tracking that ball, knowing whether to swing or to take a joust.
Hannah Hogue. Last year here against Mizzou, she had 47 assists in the match. She doesn't last long behind the tape as Mizzou gets another kill.
Another kill by Vernon. I've really enjoyed watching her high-level swing and going at the top into that cross corner.
When was the last time you saw somebody in a college game with 16 kills and no errors? Halfway through set 2.
That's an incredible stat line for Vernon.
.571 hitting percentage. How did that ball go over? Tell you what, it's all been Tigers here in set 2 until that sequence. I think everybody in the building was surprised that that ball made it over.
What a great defensive effort by Missouri. Really just trying any way to keep that ball off the floor.
That's using your head.
Really is.
Literally.
Thurman really waiting and hanging over the net to get that ball down.
Jackson serving for Arkansas. Hogs trying to make a run of their own before it's too late in set 2. Can't play that one out of the net.
Hitting that antenna.
Thing's been in play 2 or 3 times.
It really has, causing that play to go dead.
Mizzou struggled with that hitting percentage in set 1, but at .266 for the match with a strong set 2. Handled by Hogue. And a swing and a kill from Hui.
What a dig by Hogue. She really set up that play, giving Jackson a nice high ball to go and work with and an out-of-system swing for Hui.
We talked about those serves finishing short. That's one where you're trying to lean back so you don't take it off your net.
Absolutely. Trying to get under that ball and get it up rather than over.
And coming into this match, as Callum goes back to serve, you're talking about the 2 players in the conference with the most digs per set. Courtney Jackson, number 1, Maya Sands, number 2. You mix in someone like Hannah Hogue and others that are very adept at the same thing. Thought we might see some good defense today, and that was an awkward swing from Pettis. I think everybody was gearing up for the heat, and she gave him something off the wrist.
Sometimes those off-speed shots you're not really trying to do are the best and in the best.
All right, did she mean to do that, or did she just not get a full swing?
She definitely meant to do that.
All right, if you say so. Our camera crew is in play. High left let him take it. I thought she was going over both of our crew members.
Arkansas mirroring Mizzou in their service efforts.
Callum out of McKinney, Texas. Doesn't quite get the ace, handled by Sands. Sent a long swing. It was.
Just long.
Hey, Lauren, don't look now. At one point, this was 11-3, Mizzou.
Arkansas really fighting back, making sure that they're playing clean and controlling what they can control on their side of the net.
Mizzou gets the answer. I don't know if Paul Boyd is here. I don't believe he is. He covers a lot of volleyball. He tweeted out this week that he's covered it for 30 years at the high school level, the college level. As you see, another huge swing from Vernon. He simply said he's given up trying to figure out momentum in the sport, and I've stopped. I can't figure out momentum.
It truly is something you can't just describe. Even just a small shift, the crowd, the atmosphere, the camaraderie on the court, all things playing into factor. But I can attest that it is truly something that goes to your advantage.
Lo Jones back to serve. Arkansas within 3. Mizzou sent that one back from Finney, the Clemson transfer.
What a great solo block from her in the middle. Really waiting on Pettis to swing and going up at the right time.
In the last Mizzou match, she went up for a block. And of course she has good elevation. She's 6'1". The ball hit her square in the forehead. I don't know if I've seen that very often.
That's when you know you are jumping at a high level and going over the net.
And she got up after a while. She was okay. And I thought when she went down, you know, you're taking that swing off your forehead from point blank range. She's been a factor tonight. The Tigers with Vernon. What can you say about Michael Vernon?
I'm really loving how much she is able to wait in the air and see where she has that ball in the window, as we say, the window of being able to hit.
Just like that.
And placing it, just cutting that hand over into that line seam.
So is she helping out her setter more or frustrating Arkansas's block attempts by being able to do that?
I think a little bit of both.
I mean, this is a show right now. 19 kills.
Painting that back line on that last hit.
19 kills. Hitting percentage not that far away from 600.
That is an incredible stat line, especially for an outside, getting a lot of out-of-system balls, making a cleanup. It's kind of how the outside comes to be, is cleaning up those bad errors, but she is really terminating them.
Can Arkansas do anything against her defensively to throw her out of her rhythm?
I think it's really going to be putting up a big block against her.
She's going to get another try. That was handled by Huey. Much needed point for the Razorbacks if they're to come back here in set 2.
Great swing by Mackin, but highlight Hogue going off the net, really pushing that ball to the outside. That is a hard task to do, turning her body and getting it in the right position for Mackin to get that kill.
I mean, that's vision, but that's physically tough to do too.
Very.
Arkansas will win the joust.
Great job by Mackin, being that second person to go up on the joust. That's really key when talking about volleyball. You always want to be the second person pushing over the net to win that joust.
Hawks try to hang around. Mizzou's had 2 big runs in this set. Early and in the middle. Can Arkansas put one together late? Well, you never want to fall behind 2-0 on the road, and Mizzou doing their best to come back here in set 2.
Just another smart swing by Vernon.
20 kills, no errors.
That's an impressive stat line.
I'm not sure who keeps records on such things, but she's in rarefied air right now. You'd expect every once in a while maybe a swing that goes long. Did I jinx her?
I think you did. A rare miss by Vernon, trying to get the hands of Hannah Hogue. Just barely missing on that line.
Well, that's the announcer saying the free throw shooter's 10 for 10 of the night.
Jinxing it just a
I
bit.
did. The reverse jinx. I'm
just
sorry.
Just like a serve coming out from timeout.
I'm sorry, Michael, but what a run. 20 kills before her first error. That's a big service error for Arkansas, providing another point for Mizzou. As I was just beginning to say, every once in a while you're going to hit a swing long. You're going to go for some hands and not get it. You're going to hit the antenna. She had stayed away from that to the previous effort. Hogue, does she get the dump? She does.
Good court awareness by Hogue, seeing that ball a little tight to the net, using her ability in that front row to go over with her left.
We were just talking about her vision. It's almost like she can see from both sides of her head.
She really is. Being able to play with her for 1 year, it's very, very fun to see her.
She did a hog pod not that long ago, and she was talking about her, her family. As Mizzou gets the point. Dad was a baseball player, and she played a lot of softball coming up, and she didn't like the failures in softball. She says she has a love-hate relationship with the sport. I should talk to her. You don't hate the sport, but you hate your failures in the sport.
You do. I think Hannah was born to play volleyball. She's just so quick, so dynamic.
It's funny because Romani Thurman, her dad had to sit her down when she wanted to play volleyball over basketball, and then Hannah chose volleyball rather than softball. I think they both made the right choice. Speaking of making the right choices, Reagan Heath was just in the perfect spot to pound that one to the court.
Really waiting to see if she's going to swing or take a joust. Perfect positioning and really hitting that ball.
Just too easy. Mizzou inching a little bit closer. Arkansas got within 3 at 19-16. Lauren, take me through what you have seen tonight from Michael Vernon.
She's so dynamic when she's swinging, waiting for that perfect window of opportunity in her approach. Seeing the ball, she's painting cross, seam, line, really tooling off the block. I've enjoyed watching her play and really just playing clean volleyball.
I mean, she's 5'11". This Barnhill is the crown jewel of undersized hitters in recent years with Jill Gillen and company. It's not like she's 6'3" and 6'4" and towering over people.
She's not. Similar to Jill, she's really using her jumping abilities to her advantage, going over the top of the block.
You know, it's funny, we come in, we feature Iliff in the open, talk a little bit about Demaray last year. She had a big match, 15 kills to lead the Tigers here. And Michael Vernon's over there saying, hey, don't forget about me. And the funny part was what I think Coach talked about. At Oregon State, she had to be the big hitter. And coming to Mizzou, the thought was, well, she wouldn't have to shoulder the entire load offensively. Tonight, she has shouldered the entire load offensively.
As sometimes when you're able to lean on others, it creates more space for you. And you can definitely see Vernon is carrying that load, but doing a great job for Missouri.
Back row now. Swing from Atkin. What an effort by Courtney Jackson. More good defense. Arkansas with the block. Huge point.
Great press over the net for Evans. Waiting. Great dig by Jackson, laying out, and Madkin going for that. Evans ending that play.
Boy, Zoe Evans kind of pushed that one over the tape. There's Hogue. Left-handed right side from Thurman. No kill. Well, that went through a handful of Razorback hands.
Sneaking that ball through, hitting the block just at the right time and going down.
Demaray gets the kill. She's trending towards 200 with a big night tonight in her season. This is Kaylin Rush. Her dad, Kareem Rush, played a lot of time in the NBA, the Lakers, Charlotte, Indiana, Philly, the Clippers. Uncle also played with the Timberwolves. And another one that shows the volleyball route, yet she's 5'7". She gets away with it. Block back, but out. Arkansas will take the point. Stave off set point for the time being.
Good use of hands by Huey there.
Hogs need to go on a run, and that is not what they needed.
Those digs at the net, close there, hard to gauge.
Set point, Mizzou. And an ace will win it.
What a serve by Iliff. Just the same as we've talked.
Another ace for Iliff. Mizzou right back in this match, tied at 1 apiece.
Being a football player with plaque psoriasis is challenging. The football locker room is always a place where people are going to see your skin and you can't hide it forever. I'm Dallas Goddard, professional tight end, and this is my story. I felt embarrassed by my plaques, and I was covering up on and off the field. For years, I've treated my plaque psoriasis with topicals, but the hardest part for me was applying them every day, applying them to spots that are hard to reach, and it's something that you just have to be so consistent with to see visible changes. So recently, I talked to a new doctor about a medication, Otezla. It's a pill form and works from the inside out. Looking back at it, I probably could have told my doctor my struggles earlier.
Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts.
Talking to my doctor about a pill was a total game changer.
Set 2 ended on a Jordan Iliff ace, and I would say, Lauren, it's not something the league hasn't seen a lot of this year.
Definitely not used to it with going into this game at 50 aces. Exciting to watch her continue on. Such a good hybrid serve.
You almost get the feeling watching these highlights, this is borderline unfair when she's on. I know Jason often says hope is not a plan, as you see 9 aces in one match, equaling the Mizzou record. But it almost feels like your plan against her is hope that she's long or in the net.
Absolutely. Being a key to end service runs with her fast, not letting her go on a run, and siding out quickly.
So Arkansas claims set 1. Mizzou took set 2. I know, again, we've determined that momentum doesn't exist in your sport, but did Mizzou find anything in set 2 that they can continue forward?
I really think Vernon helped him with that, momentum piece. Also not making a lot of errors. That also is a key factor when trying to string together some points.
And it's something Vernon's done both of. 21 kills, 1 error. In fact, her 21 kills, Lauren, this is hard to believe. It's one shy of what Arkansas has done as a team with 22.
She really is taking over the match for Mizzou, carrying that load, but great for her to continue on and play clean volleyball.
Courtney Jackson is served for Arkansas to begin set 3. Pretty emphatic win by Mizzou in set 2. Arkansas in scramble mode already. Played up by Iliff. Another chance for Thurman. Nice job by Sands to bend that back into the court. Guess who? Different day, same highlight, same headline.
And really highlighting Crown over there, going up for the jump set, holding the blockers because they do have to wait on her as a front row setter.
But Crownover went fast. Mizzou didn't get the kill for the time being. Vernon tried to go off speed. Keep feeding her.
If I was Crownover, all the balls would be going to Vernon right now.
I think we used this phrase earlier tonight. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And it's not broken. I know for Arkansas, the coaching staff, it's maddening because it's the same player and you have not been able to contend with her. And then Mizzou with a nice save as well. She'll get another swing and another kill. Oh my goodness, did that hit the antenna?
I don't think so, but really just talking about an outside and having to carry the load of out of system balls, even then she's terminating.
See where this swing ended up. More kills, though, for Vernon. Good save by Katala. And finally one that Sands can't handle.
Good ball for Huey.
Avery Callum back to serve. It just does not stop. So now Vernon does have more kills than the entire Arkansas team.
Wow, continuing on with her waiting for that right window, going off that right hand of Thurman.
She's going to get another chance. Oh my goodness. I mean, there are no answers.
This really is something special watching Vernon. There's control and take over in system and out of system.
If you're Arkansas, you're almost like that boxer that just keeps taking the same punch and the same punch, and you can't get your hands up in front of your face. And the only question is, are you going to go through 12 rounds of that, or are you going to end up on your back at some point and count it out?
Absolutely. Key for Arkansas there, siding out. Really trying to hone in on serving aggressive, getting Mizzou out of system. Yet, even when Mizzou's been out of system, Vernon has been able to.
That's true. There's been a little bit of that as far as being out of system and still being able to gather and collect. Thurman has to play it over to keep Vernon from getting another kill. What an effort. Iliff's going to play it over. There's a scramble mode that worked for Mizzou. Bump set for Iliff. She's been quiet tonight. Just took one off of Courtney Jackson.
I'll continue to hone on the defense. What an incredible defensive effort on the Missouri side. Great up by Hannah Hogue, diving out. And then again for Mizzou, just laying out with one on arm.
You know, one of the things we asked Coach Sullivan, how does a team hit over 300? How do you maintain that hitting percentage? And you could talk about crown over, you could talk about the hitters. The first thing I think she mentioned was digs.
Absolutely, allowing your team to go and have multiple hitting opportunities.
So Vernon is in the back row, and then she provides Arkansas a point. She's now equaled the number of errors she's had hitting, serving with one. So
Arkansas really needing to capitalize here with Vernon in the back row. Madkin coming in on that front line.
Is this where the strategy shifts in the sense that if Arkansas is to make any type of run, this is when it has to occur?
Absolutely, taking advantage of your group.
That doesn't help, however.
Then again, Devin Dermier being nice and clean, not having that specific place where she wants, just recycling that ball, but ultimately ended in her favor.
Both of these teams are 4-2 in league play. Both have won one set tonight. So, I think both of these teams are certainly trending towards the NCAA tournament. Does feel like the winner kind of gets an extra brownie point, so to speak, when it comes to the committee.
Absolutely, especially when you have RPI rankings. That's really what the committee's trying to look for. A win here would help either team.
Did this hit the ponytail?
Must have hit the top of her hand.
Arkansas again took set one, 25-21. But really, Lauren, it's been domination by Mizzou since.
It has. Just being stop.
Wondered if Jason's going to spend a timeout. He's bending towards that media break, but
absolutely, you called it right there, Brett.
I think he's just upset right now with multiple aspects of his team's play. We'll step aside. It's been all.
Being a football player with plaque psoriasis is challenging. The football locker room is always a place where people are going to see your skin and you can't hide it forever. I'm Dallas Goddard, professional tight end, and this is my story. I felt embarrassed by my plaques, and I was covering up on and off the field. For years, I've treated my plaque psoriasis with topicals, but the hardest part for me was applying them every day, applying them to spots that are hard to reach, and it's something that you just have to be so consistent with to see visible changes. So recently, I talked to a new doctor about a medication, Otezla. It's a pill form and works from the inside out. Looking back at it, I probably could have told my doctor my struggles earlier.
Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts.
Talking to my doctor about a pill was a total game changer.
Big lead here in set 3 by the Tigers, up by 8 after coming back and claiming set 2. Michael Vernon been a big part of it. 25 kills to 1 error.
Watson really trying to break this momentum on the Missouri side.
Sure is with Kaylin Rush. That shows you maybe it is Mizzou's night when you're just sending free balls over and still winning the point.
Absolutely. You go back to the defensive end on Missouri. Even though that ball did go over, it still allowed them keep the play going on.
I turned to Jason Watson when that point occurred, and it was just a pained expression. And, you know, these two coaches share a lot of respect for each other. Jason came to K-State, coached a year after Don Sullivan was done with her career. And Coach Sullivan almost went to the point of saying, were it not for Jason, wasn't sure how her coaching interest might have taken place, because she said he kind of a nervous kid and wasn't sure if she wanted to do some camps. And Jason said, listen, if you want to coach, you need to be in this and invested. And I'm not sure exactly the role she played, but I know there's a great deal of respect for these two.
Absolutely. Coach Watson really respecting the volleyball community, years of experience.
Obviously a great player at Kansas State as an outside hitter. And then, of course, she goes on to UNLV as a head coach. And the numbers she put up were just simply outstanding. And I'm going to read you some of the win totals she had before she got this job last year at Mizzou. And Jason Watson said, jokingly, he wasn't happy that she got the job at Mizzou. He knew she would turn this program around. Her wins, how about 22-20, 13-28-25. And I should say the 13 was the COVID year when she was 13-1.
Absolutely, taking that shortened season.
And this was a Mizzou program that had absorbed a couple of rough years before her arrival, and usually that's the case. And she came in, I think she said she had 5 returners, and I think the one thing I took from talking to Coach Sullivan this week is how much personality is part of it, you know, building a culture, coaching players differently. And in today's day and age, coming out of the portal, it's almost a necessity to be able to understand what makes your players tick.
Absolutely. Bringing all new team together, learning how they mesh and cohese with each other going into the new season and with the transfer portal playing into fact.
See those numbers in 2021, 2022. Coach Sullivan takes over. They're in the tournament last year. Tell you what, a win tonight would be another feather in her cap. Put her team right there in the top 3 teams in the conference. Arkansas is trying to climb back in with Vernon in the back row. And they've done that, Lauren, but they need more if they're to win this set. I've lost track of the number of times there's been a ball that looks like it's about to hit a Tiger that's been eventually played over. And then they get the kill from Fitting.
Scrappy volleyball being played. Scrappy meaning always able to get those small balls up, pancakes, anything possible. keeping it off the floor in times of stress.
There's just that split second where you think like, well, this is going to be an Arkansas point. It's played off someone's shoulder, a great dig. 5 seconds later, it ends up as a Tiger point. Mizzou has never trailed here in set 3. Handled by Vernon. Swing from Demaray. And another Mizzou point. Back to a 6-point advantage.
Of note here, Sands with 21 digs. Huge numbers going into only set 3.
Averages about 5%. Much needed point for the Razorbacks.
Getting Hogue back on the line, strong serve, and having all 3 hitters up in the front row now for Arkansas.
Chance to continue to chip away, and there's a swing from the middle and from the back row, but a rare Michael Vernon error.
Only have said that a handful of times tonight.
That one I didn't jinx. Hogue serving. Oh, what a tip.
Great court awareness from Madkin and highlighting Hogue. Hard set with one hand, being able to save that play for the kill.
She did, and just an open court in front of Iliff. Vernon even gets a kill with the tip from the back row.
That is such a smart play from Vernon. Going and attacking from the back row. You're having hitters go up into block. That left front option being open. Great court awareness.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it almost gets back to that vision, to be able to see something a split second before others. Weeks has to go back to save. Over on 3. That's going to fall. Right in front of Perez Catala.
Great job by Evans and Thurman. Really waiting for that ball at a high set. Staying on it.
That was a high set. See it on the replay. A little different look than others. That's a quicker, faster set and results in a Tiger kill.
Good swing and high corner.
Mizzou hitting 228 for this match. Arkansas below 200. Tip doesn't fall. No kill that time for Vernon. She may get a chance off this bump set. Arkansas wins it. That was a long rally.
Long rally, lots of transition plays. Good job by Thurman, really staying true to her blocking assignment.
Those Tigers back on their heels just a bit, a little bit flat-footed where they couldn't respond when that ball fell to the court. Ends up at the Razorback bench.
Good hustle, but another great high swing by Vernon. Really being key after an error.
Crownover went on a nice service run, but Arkansas will make her time there somewhat short. Happy to get her off that line. Maybe no surprise, Vernon is at a career high already. That hitting percentage has plummeted from about 570 to 418, but still speaks to the incredible night she's put forth. Does she add to it? Well, there's one of the few mistakes.
Having that career high, though, only in set 3. Lots of more
right.
volleyball match to play.
I mean, she can really continue to add to it. And she does. Just keeps right on going.
Swing. I keep saying it, but really elevating, waiting for that perfect window that she has, and taking that opportunity.
When you watch really good competitors have great nights, sometimes you wonder, what is it? Is it just your night? Is it a matchup situation? Is it a team situation with the digs and the sets, or her ability to hang and hit? But I'm sure there's a little bit of everything involved in this one.
I really think a little bit of everything. She just seems like she has her timing down and really knows how she's wanting to be aggressive.
And yet Arkansas closing in, didn't get that point. Crown over saved, but they will pull within 1.
Great job by Mackin. Really going aggressive at that block and challenging, going for the seam. Taking a look, really waiting for that open block and that seam.
You know, we've got 2 good coaches building their programs, and last year they were co-coaches of the year, but you need 2 more coaches to complete the quartet of co-coaches.
Like
When does
you
this ever
see,
happen
like
before?
you see, the first time 4 coaches have won this award.
I mean, poor Jason Watson takes his team to an Elite 8, and Don Sullivan in year 1 gets 18 wins and only loses to Nebraska, and yet they're co-coaches with 2 others.
It's got to be quad coaches there.
This is where maybe you hope the SEC says, you know, Craig Skinner, you've won enough of these. In Tennessee as well with Coach Watt, but that's unique. That's different.
It sure is. I remember those coming out and only seeing 1, and then you see 4.
What has Arkansas done, though, to go from a situation where they were down 7 points to back to within 1?
I think they've played it at even keel, not letting the emotion get a little too high or a little too low. I think that definitely helps Arkansas in their leadership as well, being strong and even in the lows of the match.
Let's see how set 3 ends. Great defensive play by Callum. Really bodies on the deck everywhere. Saved by Sands. Left kills.
What a dig by Sands, reading that play and going into the what we call the donut of the court, picking it up, allowing Iliff to take that nice swing.
You know, for Iliff, only 5 kills all night. We talked about her in the open, but she's watched the Verdon show, as have we. That was a huge one, though, for Mizzou when Arkansas had a chance to tie. Iliff just wasn't in the right position on that swing. Arkansas will gladly take it. So again, Lauren, Arkansas has never led in set 3. They're trying to get this back to even.
Trying to tie it up here. A big shift going from either 2018 or 19 all. Arkansas can't get the block, so twice Arkansas has been within a point
only to see Iliff get a kill with Vernon in the back row.
Iliff really challenging that block, going for it.
There's the tough serve from Iliff. Arkansas handles it. Can they get her off the line? Had a system that played over by Demaray. Sands digs another one. And another Mizzou kill from Demaray.
Good swing off the net. Really taking that 1-2 approach and swinging hard.
Arkansas doesn't want to see an ace. I can't get the thought out.
That is such a hard serve to take. Coming Iliff from left back, really going across the court into left back from Adkin.
Second ace for Iliff, giving her 52 on the year. How many will she finish with before this year's over? She get to 75?
I'd be curious to see what those records are for Mizzou. Wow, program record 64.
I mean, she's going to trend to that quickly.
I really think so. I'm hoping we're not jinxing, but I think that would be an incredible benchmark to go off of.
52 with 2 tonight. 7th in program history, but again, so much volleyball left, and not just the regular season, but probably another trip to the NCAA tournament for the Tigers. Let's go back and take a look at this last ace from Iliff. Tell me what you see, Lauren.
Seeing her come from, serving left back and really going across court. It's a hard swing. You also have more room on the court to go at it. Able to put a little more heat on it, further area to travel, and getting Madkin on that high right shoulder. Hard ball to defend.
Maybe it's the baseball guy in me. I'm watching the rotation and seeing the colored ball take unique spinning angles.
Absolutely, and when it touches your platform, that plays a factor into it as well, how it will come off your platform if you don't have it a clean serve receive.
St. Louis native, Jordan Iliff. She had a 52 kill match earlier this year against SEMO.
That is some incredible numbers. Vernon tracking that way for tonight as well.
There's no doubt. Arkansas twice got within one. Call that timeout.
That timeout really worked, just like what we were talking about. You've got all 3 hitters now back in the front row with Hogue in the back. Really a key opportunity for Arkansas to take advantage.
See if the Hogs can rally before it's too late. Kiara Elise Perez-Catala. She was the WAC Libero of the Year at UTRGV. She was a Vaquero a year ago. Puerto Rico native. Vernon doesn't get the kill. Thurman will try. Feel like this one's going back in the direction of Vernon.
Another example of an out-of-system ball, and Iliff doing a great job of putting it high, close to the net for Vernon to take a nice approach.
If you're Arkansas, do you have to resist the temptation of saying, again, they're out of system, but they get the kill? Maybe it's not our night?
Absolutely. And of note, Mizzou just put in what we call a blocking substitution. So I believe they do not have a setter on the court.
Interesting, at set point. You see the size in the front row. Arkansas has 2 bodies on the deck. Can Vernon end it? And Arkansas gets the point on a tip. Mizzou is about to celebrate, Lauren.
Mizzou's blocking sub did work a little bit. You see Iliv having to come in and set that second ball.
See if Finney touched it. Coach Sullivan looked at Finney and she turned to her coach and she said, I touched it.
Looks like it was just that right hand. Thurman was able to go high off the block.
That's the honesty you want from one of your players so you don't review it, and then Finney gets the kill.
What a kill by Finney. Nice high level swing, fast.
This set truly belonged to Mizzou. They led for the entire duration, and it's a must-win set 4 for Arkansas. Well, Mizzou one set away from their first win against Arkansas since 2020. And the Hogs have had some success against Mizzou, but again, this was the Tiger program that went through a big turnaround last year, Lauren, and they were really impressive in both sets 2 and 3.
Absolutely. Really honing in on Vernon, taking over the match, really. I mean, she, is playing at such a high level. Arkansas coming back a little bit at the end, going into set 4, really need to think about being clean and shutting Vernon down.
It's to that point in that match where they haven't yet, so we'll see if set 4 changes that.
Absolutely.
Because Arkansas didn't lead for a single point in set 3. We talked to Coach Sullivan about her 2 different outside hitters. She said, listen, different outsides, they're harder to prepare for, which makes perfect sense. And sometimes, volleyball is also about those in-game adjustments.
Absolutely. You have a game plan going into the game, and how you're going to adjust is something that you need to make in a game time decision.
Off and rolling in set 4. And it starts as the last couple of sets have ended, with Vernon getting the kill. So every kill adds to her career high. Arkansas able to defeat that block.
Able to sneak it in. And of note, Arkansas is passing with 2 passers, kind of hiding Madkin up that 10-foot line. Really good job on Weeks and Jackson, taking that load of the whole court in a 2-man passing serve receive.
It's interesting, only 2 hitters in the middle in the match right now for Arkansas.
And that is court awareness by Vernon. Such a great tip going into that left corner. Really hard job, but.
Just talking about the adjustments, can Arkansas get some blockers on her? Well, as they've tried it a little bit, she's gone with more tips.
Absolutely, she's really reading the court and understanding that if that ball is not in her window, making it the best possible swing that she can.
When you were putting together a scouting report on her, how would you describe or evaluate her vision?
I really think you need to wait on her approach. I think she waits a long time in the air, maybe even being delayed a little bit on your block.
It does seem, as we maybe mentioned earlier, that even if those setters aren't perfect, she has that ability with their leaping effort or the ability to hang where she can turn an okay set into a kill.
Absolutely, she's dynamic enough to really take a ball that's not in her window and create a kill out of it.
Arkansas really had a system hoping to play it over, and they're going to get the kill out of that. By Huey.
Good swing by Huey. Really great dig by Hogue and taking that ball out of system. Nice high set. Thurman just putting it up for Huey to go at.
Mizzou goes fast from the middle, regain the lead.
Great fast arm swing. Up and being dynamic.
We've seen Crownover cause some problems from the service line and almost got the ace. Thurman able to save in front of her bench. Iliff able to put one in that back corner. She's done that a few times where she's at the exact perfect spot.
Absolutely. Painting that back line. Line judge did call it out, but net call on Arkansas.
Okay. Arkansas gets a quick answer from Pettis.
What a swing by Pettis. Nice quick arm swing up. Really terminating that ball.
Does your mentality change at all in a must-win set as far as playing from behind? Does that even add a little more pressure where if Mizzou's able to build a 3 or 4 point lead where that urgency changes?
You definitely do, but some of the best teams, you know, that urgency remains even at being down a set or things.
Because this Arkansas team has had so much success at home. As we pointed out, not just 7-0, but 6 sweeps. So now you're in a true battle just to try and send this to a 5th.
Absolutely.
No high hands there. Arkansas will gladly take that point.
Ball just a little low. Not able to hit it in the right window.
Put down. Well, that's some size at the net for Mizzou.
Good sealed block, waiting and jumping at the right time, pressing over and getting that block.
Just 4 hands providing a roadblock at the top of the tape. Arkansas had climbed back to the 200 hitting percentage, but Mizzou at 248. That swing is long. And this is kind of getting a little bit to that danger zone, not there yet, but down by 3, not wanting to see Mizzou get more separation. So there's an answer. Pettis on the slide with the termination.
Pettis able to find an answer for that slide going off of 1. Even with that tight ball, able to find a corner.
Kylie Weeks to serve. Maybe your last year at Arkansas was the Weeks role similar to what you had?
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of that last year really came in as a serving specialist, being able to go in and really hone in on aggressive serving.
What's that like coming off the bench cold at times?
It's hard. It really is, you know, especially coming off of not moving too much, but it's your job and continuing to make good plays.
How about from the back row? Vernon adds another 33 kills.
What a great back row attack, and Crownover really using all of her options, especially when she's in the front row.
If you're Arkansas, you think, well, she's in the back row, she can't hurt us too much, and she just keeps coming. Mizzou out of system. So Hogue went ahead and took a swing. This is a point where Mizzou has been in scramble mode, and yet they've won several of these points tonight. Kind of adding to the frustration. How will this one end? Oh my goodness. I mean, she has been a one-man wrecking crew.
Such great court awareness, just like we were saying. Really getting at that left front corner. And again, a big thing for Arkansas is stopping this run from Iliff.
Has she done that 3 or 4 times, though, Vernon, as far as
Absolutely.
that directed tip? And High risk, high reward. Arkansas happy to get that point. Once Mizzou had built a 5-point lead in the must-win set 4.
Arkansas back with 3 hitters, trying to capitalize here.
Powerful swing from Iliff. Why not? Another back row middle swing. Saved by Hogue somehow. Big cut from Thurman. Arkansas able to compete to get back in this one.
Good joust at the play. See a challenge call coming here. It looks like sometime in that play, maybe a net was called. Net violation.
We have not had a single challenge to this point.
Looking through, I believe it was somewhere in the middle of the play.
It'll take a while to go back and find this one. Time being, it's a 3-point lead for the Tigers, but you can see where this would be a huge.
The ruling on the court is no net fault. Missouri is challenging if there was a net.
Okay. Good luck with that one.
It's going to be a long play to review.
Going to be a lot of rewinding. So again, Lauren, if there's a violation at any point in the sequence, Coach might be sitting on that challenge card waiting to see the outcome?
Any point. You got to wait till end of the play ends. Obviously, no challenge necessary if you win the play. But on the flip side, just like Mizzou, not able to win.
See if something at the bottom of the net occurred. Is there
see
a brush?
A hand, kind of that right hand brush, that bottom side of the net.
Well, that's going to be enough, I would imagine.
Does have to be definitive to change.
Okay.
So seeing if.
After review, the ruling on the court is reversed. There was a net fault on number 9. Point to Missouri. Missouri will retain their challenge.
So Mackin, as we suspected, was in the net.
Really hard coming down from a play and brushing just a hand.
And of course, you talk about going from a 3-point set to a 5 with this reversal.
And that's a huge thing in volleyball, as that point shift. How fast just one can go.
Yeah, from 3 to 5 hurts when you're in scramble mode and catch-up mode. Perez Catala serving with the Tigers up by 5. That was an interesting swing from Finney. That gets some fingers. It did not.
Mackin looking for a touch, just long.
She wanted one, but that lead is extended.
Again, seeing Arkansas passing 2 here with Jackson and Weeks.
Put down by Mackin. There's an answer.
Good play by Mackin, knowing that open middle of the court.
Vernon's going to get another chance. Vernon's going to get another kill.
Great ball by Vernon. Wanted to go back to that first play that Vernon had, just out of system, but going to the setter, taking Hogue out of the play, having to go out of system for Arkansas, and ultimately leading up for that kill for Vernon.
Her 35th. She's hitting at .435 with just a handful of errors. Almost got another kill. Weeks had to go back and save, and Evans will play it over. I think that was a mishit and it dropped.
Just barely snuck that through. Sometimes you're going to say that I meant to do it, and it works.
Better to be lucky than good, maybe. She went to load up for a swing, and it dropped. Arkansas really needs to turn things around in set 4. Lauren, it feels like about an hour ago that Michael Vernon reached a career high, and now she just keeps showing off, keeps adding to it.
It's a huge stat line, 35 kills, and the first player since 2009 for Mizzou's program. What a great benchmark for Vernon.
Remember, Arkansas claimed set 1, 25-21, and it has really been all Tigers since. That's up in the rafters. Hey, speaking of the rafters, I'm going to pause that thought as Arkansas gets the point. There was a ball in that Texas match that hit one of the championship banners, and that stays in play.
Absolutely. Those are free play. We'll continue on, and it's hard as a player. You're having to decide which way it's going to go based on hitting certain objects.
And, of course, they have so darn many banners. There's something up there to hit in the rafters in that old building. One of the few mistakes from Vernon.
Vernon just trying to hit that line and over-rotate just a little.
So back-to-back points have gone in the direction of Arkansas, and they need that as far as their path back into set 4 to force a set 5. Free ball is played over. Here comes Vernon. How about that? Back-to-back errors.
She really wanted that hard cut again at first play. Good ball by Huey, picking up that hard cross, the first ball.
So from 15-8 to 15-11.
It's like a net call on the play on Arkansas.
Maybe a hand or a wrist. You know, it's easy to talk about the serve of Isla. For me, it's been the serve of Crownover that's been troubling as well. It's a quick answer by the Hogs. Huey.
Great line swing by Huey. Really fast last 2 steps on that approach. Swing down the line.
Hannah Hogue putting her hitter in a great spot. And Arkansas capitalizing. Lo Jones on the serve. Vernon, they got it to her quickly. That's 36.
Same stat line of the night, another Vernon kill.
She's like a slot machine that just keeps on paying out. It just keeps going and going. Almost had an ace, were it not for a tremendous effort from Callum. There's the block by Mizzou.
What a great block by Iliff. Really waiting, pressing over at the right time.
Jason Watson spends a timeout. Arkansas down 6 in a must-win set 4. I think, Lauren, I posed this question to you when it was like 8-5. At what point do you really start to feel it? Not only in a must-win set, but trailing. And if we haven't reached that point yet, I think Arkansas might be there now.
Definitely think within these next couple ones, it's there. Trailing 6, going into a must-win set.
What Mizzou has done a great job this year is with their hitting percentage. And it's a .247, but part of that is the .387 performance from Vernon. And what Mizzou has also done that we don't reflect on that graphic, Lauren, is a new program record for kills in a match with 63.
Wow.
And Vernon's 36 is a program record as well. So that has been the story. So not just a high for her, but a new program record for Vernon.
What a night for Vernon. And especially in a 4-set match. You see those high-level numbers in 5-set matches getting close, lots of points going on, but in a 4-set match, that is pretty remarkable.
Or maybe a match where you have a 30-28.
Absolutely.
Bonus points.
Close matches going to 5.
We've seen her adjust. I mean, she's had kills from the back row. She's had tips when the block has been there. Bit of a joust, and Arkansas is going to win it.
Great joust at the net, staying patient, waiting, pushing over at the right time.
Hui back to serve. Off the hands of Hogue. That 6-point lead is back in play for the Tigers. Kalen Rush, the Columbia native, back to serve. Boy, that had some drop too, barely cleared the tape. Mizzou first to 20.
What a great high swing going off the top of the hands. Really, rather than a challenge in that block low, swinging high and off the top of the fingers.
Arkansas needs some points. Thought they had one there from Pettis. That time some defense from Vernon.
Oh,
And a cross-court kill.
what a swing by Iliff. Also note, what a great dig by Rush. Coming
Again,
in
right?
as a serving specialist. Really great dig in that first part of the rally.
Feels like that's been a part of the theme. I know Vernon has stolen the show. She'll make the headlines. Their defense has been really good, and part of that is blocks.
Another block from Iliff. Really waiting and taking that block at the right time. See, she waits and presses just in the window of approach from Atkin.
Tell you what, Mizzou has taken some of the drama out of this set 4. Remember, they did not trail at all in the entire set 3. And as we take a look back, we were tied at 3, but I don't think Arkansas has had a lead at any point in set 4 either.
Yeah, they've really run with being clean, not taking as many errors going into this 4th set.
Well, for Mizzou, they're going to stay on the road and travel over to Norman. Doesn't get any easier when they go to Texas on November 1st. And Florida later on in November. Arkansas, like the football team, has to get to Starkville. The only problem is they have to get to Starkville on Saturday during game day, so they're going to try and go a little bit later. Now, they were in Austin last week before the football game and the Formula One race, as you see their schedule, so they had to travel to College Station that night.
There's some crazy travel schedules when it comes to all of this now. And having to wait going to Mississippi State. From personal experience, I know that their gym is very close to their football stadium, and that is not going to be a fun ride trying to get in there.
I will say, however, there will be no Formula One race in Starkville, just a football game.
I think that will cut down on the
Think we're
traffic.
safe? Margin of error is really thin for Arkansas. Pettis was able to hang in the air. Iliff had it dug by Jackson. Long rally. Another swing from Iliff. And the kill from Finney.
Finney's arm swing just nice and quick. Something that is a very big advantage to a middle.
Arkansas goes fast to get a kill from Pettis.
You could say the same thing right there
Yep.
for Pettis. Good, quick swing, able to terminate the ball.
Weeks back to serve. Arkansas down by 9. Finney again.
What a swing.
You were saying about going fast?
I think that's pretty fast.
Lightning fast. See it again. There's just no chance really for the defense to react, is there?
Having to be delayed on the reaction, it's a great swing.
Iliff had a chance at match point to end it. Let's see if Hannah Hogue can go on a nice run.
Crown over, going back in, so Mizzou does have their setter back on the court after that blocking sub.
Handled by Weeks. And that's how it's going to end. Mizzou wins the last 3 sets, and Lauren, they did so in dominating fashion.
Absolutely, taking that last set 4 and really running with it after a great match.
See this final point again. What an impressive performance. Arkansas claimed the first set. Then Mizzou went 25-18, 25-20, and 25-15. Michael Vernon should be here in a moment. First win for the Tigers in Fayetteville since 2018. We'll both. We're going to break. When we come back, we'll talk to Michael Vernon. Arkansas wins it 3-1. And Lauren, again, just quite a performance in set 2, 3, and 4 by the Tigers.
Absolutely, really taking advantage after that first set, going at it.
Michael Vernon had 36 kills, hit 387 on the match. Not only a new career high, a new program record for kills in a match. My goodness, this was your night from the beginning. What was it like to have such domination to help your team win?
I mean, it felt great, but I was also just really confident because of my team. I know they're behind me covering. They're doing whatever they can to put me in the best position. So it was just great to play free and be able to not worry about anything happening.
Great. I know that you had so many plays. You played clean. It was great. What was your match going into the game? Just really wanting to swing, have fun, high hands?
Yeah, basically. Yeah? A lot of high hands and just work on my back row attack. I haven't hit a lot of back row this season, so I think that was one of my keys of going into the game, but definitely just hitting the high hands, not being afraid of a big block, you know?
Absolutely, and seeing your court awareness, even in your back row. You're loving that left front tip.
Yeah, that little tip.
Left front tip.
Yeah. It's your ability to hang in the air. We talked about that. To hang, to look, defeat the block. Where does that athleticism come from and that ability to do that?
My parents, I guess. My parents and lifting. I mean, it's just, yeah, I don't know.
And how big is this win? Because you guys come on the road, you get a win, you keep building towards another NCAA
Yeah,
tournament
this was a great win. We knew this was going to be a good week for us. We worked really hard in the gym every day, so it's good to see it pay off, and we're really focused for Sunday now, next game.
It paid off. 36 kills. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's Michael Vernon, a career night indeed for the Missouri Tigers as they find a way to win it 3-1. We'll step aside, so thanks to Lauren, thanks to Michael, and our entire crew. Arkansas lost set one, but Mizzou, or won set one, but Mizzou comes back to claim the last three for the win. Thanks again for tuning in tonight. Mizzou takes down Arkansas. We'll see you in about a week with more volleyball action from Barnhill Arena. Good night.